Hi y'all, I'm Antonia Eliason and I'm the Democratic candidate for the U.S. House of Representatives, District 1. As the first Democratic socialist to run for major office in Mississippi, I've heard all kinds of things said about my campaign. Folks have called me crazy and lots of people have said stuff about my hair. Well, as you can see, the pandemic got the best of my haircut. But let me just say, if our elected officials cut the politics like I cut my hair, we'd be in a much better place. Let's face it, expectations for what things should be don't matter in the time of a pandemic or in the heat of a Mississippi summer. Before I get any further, let me clear up two things. First, I'm not coming for your private property. And second, I'm not coming for your guns. Today, let me instead tell you what I actually stand for. In the middle of a pandemic, millions of Americans are facing evictions and foreclosures. Millions of Americans have lost their jobs. After decades of cuts to social services and government programs meant to help people in need, our government, while having trillions of dollars to throw at the stock market, has been unable to provide a social safety net for its people. In this time of crisis, the federal government has made it clear that it is more interested in protecting corporations than in protecting human beings. That's what I call the wrong kind of socialism. Socialism for the rich and free enterprise for the poor. We're starting to see what happened in 2008 happen again. And frankly, I'm tired. I'm tired of seeing folks hurting and struggling to pay their bills. I'm tired of seeing people work their whole lives only to lose everything while big banks and corporations keep getting government money to keep them afloat. I'm a Democratic socialist because I'm tired of my tax dollars lining the pockets of tax-evading corporations that get government money, and I want to see the super rich and big corporations pay their fair share of taxes. I worked for years in finance, and believe me, investment banks and financial institutions are full of bullcrap. Even today, corporations, CEOs, and investors are profiting off of COVID-19 while many of us face financial ruin. And no, I'm not talking about the flour mill benefiting from folks going out and buying more flours so they can try to bake bread at home while they're stuck there. No, I'm talking about pharmaceutical companies raising the prices of drugs that look promising in the treatment of COVID-19. Since January, Big Pharma has raised the price on 245 different drugs for that exact reason. Meanwhile, corporations like Netflix, Amazon, Chevron, Eli Lilly, and Deere paid no federal taxes at all in 2018. I don't think that's fair. I also don't think it's fair that the richer you are, the less taxes you pay. Most of the members of Congress don't represent the average American financially. So how can they fight for working Americans? When rich people and corporations get more money, they stick it in offshore accounts. When average folks get more money, we spend it, and that helps the economy. I'm a Democratic socialist because I believe in workers' rights, not corporate interests. Most Mississippians are working class, and yet our state has prioritized corporations over and over again at the expense of workers. As a right-to-work state, we've disenfranchised unions and made it illegal for unions to use collective bargaining to advocate for workers' rights. And let's remember, unions got us the 5-day work week, workplace safety laws, and child labor laws, amongst others. Even when these large corporations bring jobs to Mississippi, what kind of protections do they bring for the workers? When large corporations come to Mississippi, they come because they can take advantage of their workers. And they know that the workers won't have any way to stand up to them. If that's the only way we're going to get big corporations, I think we can do better with homegrown businesses. I'm a Democratic socialist because I know that the biggest long-term challenge that we face as a planet is climate change. And we must take immediate action to ensure that there is hope for future generations. That means a Green New Deal for Mississippi. Industrial hemp offers us opportunities to participate in a greener economy, and it would bring both agricultural and manufacturing jobs if we build the infrastructure that's necessary to process the hemp that we grow. And Mississippi needs good homegrown jobs, not jobs that will be taken out of state or cut at the first signs of trouble. I'm a democratic socialist because I believe in universal health care. Because of the pandemic, almost 5.5 million Americans lost their health insurance between February and May. It's unacceptable that during a national health crisis, instead of supporting Americans with enhanced health care, our government has left millions without any health care at all. And expanding Medicare isn't enough. That's like slapping a Band-Aid on a severed leg. Everyone in this country should have access to free health care. It is unconscionable that medical bills are one of the leading reasons for personal bankruptcy in this country, and that most people declaring personal bankruptcy over medical bills had health insurance in the first place. The same goes for prescription drug costs. How many of us have decided not to fill a prescription because of the cost? I know I have. With so many Mississippians vulnerable because of pre-existing conditions, we need universal health care and controlled prescription costs. I don't think there's anything crazy about what I've just said. I think it's a lot crazier that I've seen my taxes go up over the past 4 years, while those of the richest Americans and of big businesses have gone down. I think it's a lot crazier that the government keeps handing out free money to corporations. Let's spend that money on the people who actually need it instead. I value the lives of real people far more than I value the legal lives of corporations. Mississippi has the potential to be an economic powerhouse. We've got some of the greatest people on the planet, people with grit and perseverance. We've got some of the richest agricultural land in the country, and we've got lots of opportunities for growth and development. But we keep voting in the same kinds of people who do the same kinds of things, and nothing ever gets any better. It's time for a change. That's why I urge you to vote for me in November. I'm Antonia Eliason. I'm a democratic socialist, and I believe in the power of the people.